Welcome back to Ultra Uncovered. I'm Russell Ditzworth, and I'm here with co-host Corinne Shalvoy, and we are here previewing some of the best runners attacking the 100-mile distance at Leadville, the Leadville Trail 100. So today we are joined by Mr. Ryan Sullivan. So Ryan, I was hoping maybe you could take a quick moment to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about where you live and train, your history with running, and maybe another fun fact if you don't mind.
Hey, thanks for having me. Honored to be invited by the Castle Rock Run Club. My name's Ryan Sullivan. I live in Grand Junction, Colorado, kind of up between Grand Junction and Fruita against the Colorado Monument. So that's my usual stomping grounds. I work part-time now, so I have a lot of time to go down, usually to your San Juan's, because they're a pretty close drive all summer. So I kind of sleep in my car and run in the mountains. Background with running. I played soccer through college. When I went to med school, there was not much good soccer to be played, so I started road biking with a friend and got semi obsessed. And then as time got more crunched, I started running for fitness and became totally obsessed. So that leads us to about now.
Oh, that's awesome. You're talking to another former college soccer player. So, where did you play soccer in college? And you couldn't find a men's team to continue your passion there?
Man, I went to Virginia Tech and then I lived in Durham, North Carolina for a year after college. We had a great team down there, but I did. I went to school in upstate New York after that in Albany, and it was just a lot of indoor leagues
Yeah.
and a little less quality at a consistent level. So yeah, biking and endurance stuff kind of took over.
Oh, I love it. I'm always rooting for my former soccer players out there. So
Hmm.
that's amazing.
Might
Um,
have to have a calf contest between you and Russ because he's
Oh
got
man,
some epic
mine aren't
calves.
that sweet.
You soccer players and your calves. Yeah.
claim to fame, I guess, is how it works. But there's a number of runners from the Castle Rock Run Club that like the background is soccer, and so I always think like, man, we could have like a sweet indoor team at some point. But then I realized that like now we're all practiced in even on a trail, basically running in a straight line, and no one needs a ruptured Achilles or a torn hamstring or any of that.
And my lateral movement is gone. I used to be able to like nearly dunk a basketball. I could full dunk like a soccer ball or a slightly smaller one, and now I probably couldn't even grab rim anymore. So I'm super unathletic now. I can just run in a straight line for a long time.
Long time and very fast. I mean, Corinne, do you want to give what
Huh?
Graham's quote was?
Yeah, Graham, because you guys have spent some time together from the Air Vibe Racing team retreats, and so I was like, Graham, tell me about Ryan before we talk to him. He's like, he's fast as shit. That's what he said. Which leads me to my question of why are you running 100 miles?
Well, should I just hang out with Graham more because he likes my mustache and he thinks I'm fast? I think I need to hang
I
out
think
with.
he has a crush on
Where's
you.
Graham right now? Yeah.
He's getting
Um,
his haircut.
oh, yeah, good for him. Man, 100 miles. It's a new challenge. I feel like I've kind of nailed down 50Ks and 50-mile races, and I like them a lot, but um, it's just a new challenge. It's just something I've been looking forward to trying out. I think I'll be good at it given my skill set. And, um, you know, I'm not getting any younger, so I figured if you're going to be good at them, you might as well give it a couple of years to get good at them before you're just too old. So that's kind of where we're at. But no, I'm looking forward to giving the distance a try.
Yeah, so speaking about your recent running kind of events and results, you were third at the JFK 50 2023 last year in a smoking 540. Um, that race is always super stacked.
Race
So
hurts more than any race I've done. Just
really, yeah.
trying to run that fast on flat once you hit the road at the end is just, uh, yeah, nothing's messed me up like that race. And I've done it twice and it didn't get any better the second time.
Well, congrats. That's a huge result. And then tell us a little bit about this year so far for you, what you've been doing.
Man, so since it's gotten warm, like I said, I've just been down in Uray mostly, and then spending a good amount of time in Leadville for the last month.
Okay.
So race wise, I did the Gorge Waterfalls 100K back in April, and just kind of had an off day. Kind of GI stuff went wrong really early. I wasn't really able. I was able to kind of shuffle it in and finish and everything, but it was just one of those days where I don't really know why that happened, but it did. Um, and then I ran the North Fork 50K on the Front Range, which is a really cool race. If anyone wants to do it, it's over at Buffalo Creek, um, and super smooth, flowy trails. I did really well at that one, and then
That's the course
about
record,
six.
right? Like,
Yes, I did. Yeah.
yeah.
And then I went out to the Quebec Mega Trail and did the 80K just 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
I had a really good. I used to live in upstate New York, and one of my best friends lives in Stowe, Vermont. So I flew out and visited her. Shout out Gage. She came and crewed me, and that one went really well. I kind of just had a day at that one. I felt like I just couldn't get tired, and obviously sea level helps, but
And it's supposed
it
to be
was
pretty
just a really
technical,
good day.
right? Isn't that
Yeah,
like quite a technical rocky course?
yeah, just kind of classic Northeast stuff, but I felt fortunate to have lived in upstate New York and kind of knew what I was getting into in terms of, spider webs, roots, knee deep mud, that kind of stuff. So that was super fun. And then honestly, only took a few days off after that race, and then kind of went into a super heavy training block right away and felt like crap at the start of it. And then by, 2 weeks ago, kind of pulled out of the fatigue and I felt really good. And now kind of the work is done for Leadville, and that leads us to this moment in time.
Sounds like coaches set you up to be feeling very good. So tell us a little bit about what's been different in your training leading up to this for 100 miles, not only the specificity of the distance, but also altitude. I mean, obviously you do a lot of other altitude stuff. I'm also totally curious, like you said, you're part-time now. So is that like a recent development? And is the purpose of that to try to lean a little bit more into running?
Yeah, a lot of questions. Let me go through those in a way that I can make sense of it. So, um, the training for Leadville hasn't been that much different than a lot of the training I've done over the last couple of years. I've been picking races like San Juan Solstice, and um, I guess that's totally different from JFK. But a lot of these 50 milers, I'm running pretty high volume relatively. I run 6 days a week, and I'm usually um, 90s, and then when I'm actually in a race build, it's in the hundreds, and then good amount of vert, nothing crazy. Um, but honestly, the training hasn't changed too much. It's just been a lot of time at altitude and just kind of building off the 50-mile block for that Quebec race. So nothing too crazy. Altitude, I think I'm pretty good at altitude naturally, but I do spend a lot of time down there. I kind of go and camp down in Uray, and I usually am camping around 8,500 feet, and then the runs take you over 11, 12 a lot of the time. So yeah, and then I live at 5,000, which is definitely not altitude, but it's definitely not sea level, so it's not a total shock to go up to those altitudes. Yeah. What was the other part of your question?
Did you recently go part-time, and is part of that to lean into running?
Oh, yes. So I am a primary care doctor, and I did finish my residency in 2021,
Okay.
um, with the goal of working part-time afterwards.
Okay. Just
Yeah,
as a life goal to like be able
life
to.
goal. I'd probably work more if I didn't like this running thing so much. So it's partially to lean into it. I
Yeah.
figure if I want to work more later, then I can when I can't handle running as much, or I'm not taking it as seriously, or whatever. But it's really nice to be able to work part time right now and then spend adequate time at altitude in the mountains, all that kind of stuff. So
Absolutely.
yeah, kind of yes,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Okay, so next question is just kind of how you're feeling. I guess maybe sounds like you're feeling great physically, but like mentally going into your first 100, are you excited? Are you nervous? What's going through your mind?
And feeling all of it. Mostly excited. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at it as a big challenge. Um, I guess I would love to know who's running, but it's more of a curiosity. It's more of a curiosity than it would really change how I run.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have a good approach for how I'm going to take it out, and it's not super dependent on how other people do. So honestly, it's mostly excited. I love Leadville. I actually worked there for 2 years after
Yeah.
my residency.
Yeah.
So I used to live there like half the time at least. And I loved the town and got to know all the people, obviously, because I was one of the few primary care docs in town. And yeah, I'm just really excited to be a part of it. I've also been crewing down there for the last, 5 years or something. So yeah, it'll be
Awesome.
really
That's
fun to be a part of it.
sweet. So yeah, kind of along those lines, tell us a little bit about like crew and pacer setup. Are you going to have pacers?
Oh yeah, secret weapon. I have undefeated Leadville pacer Clint Anders.
Oh,
He paced Claire when she won.
Okay.
That's
awesome.
he won for
That's
one, I guess.
that's his only pacing, 1 for 1 so far.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Okay.
that undefeated though. That's pretty
Oh
good.
yeah.
So he told me I was texting with him about our race schedules, and he said he wanted to be down at Leadville, and um, he advertised himself as an undefeated pacer, and I said, "You're hired." And then
I love it.
my buddy Witt's so Clint's gonna pace me from Twin Lakes to May Queen, so 25, 26 miles,
Mm-hmm.
and then my buddy Witt's gonna pick me up at May Queen to do the end of the race with me. And then I've definitely got the A team coming in. My brother's coming in from Park City. He is the ultimate crew chief. Parents are going to come and hang out. Big group of friends. It'll be really fun.
That's awesome. That's super exciting. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, Russ, go. You're next.
Tell us a little bit about your crew in Grand Junction. I'm sure they're all excited for you to be racing in Leadville as well. I know that there's a few folks that you run with. I'm not sure what your training setup looks like on a daily basis, but is there a group there that helps kind of like um, uh, increase the stoke for some of these events that you got going on?
Yeah, I think so. What's the appropriateness, like PG-13 PG rating of this
Go
podcast?
for it. Go for it.
Oh, okay. So there's a really great running group in town called Mesa Monument Striders, which is just this big open group anyone can come to, super supportive. A couple of those people are race directors for Grand Mesa Ultra. So there's a great running community here. As far as like my friend group, we have a little group called the Buck Boys, which is Fruta Ultra Club Boys. Um, one of
Yes.
those guys, my buddy Max, is running Leadville, and he's done it a few times at this point. So the stoke level is definitely high. He's always talking about going back to Leadville. So we ran this morning, and we definitely have a good group here out on the western slope.
Is it you and him or he and James Roach who are always like just talking trash about? I mean, it might be all three of you.
James Roach will be there. I think
Oh,
James and
That
sweet. James
Max,
is great too.
plus or minus me, would probably be the original Buck Boys group.
Yeah. Yeah.
We also have a few adjunct members for sure. Our buddy Chris, our buddy Witt. It's not super exclusive, I would say. But James Roach is definitely maybe the godfather, and he'll be out there pacing Max actually.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Are you going to
Mhm.
beat Max?
Yeah, of course.
Has Max run a 100 miler?
No doubt.
Yeah, he's done Leadville a few
He did.
times.
Oh, you said that. Yeah.
Yeah, I told him I'd high five him while he's still running up Hope Pass on
Oh,
the way
nice.
Oh,
back.
so you got to go get up hope before he gets. You got to get back up hope before he gets all the way to the
I
top.
love it. This is like what I'm
That
here for. Is these in like under the radar, nobody knows about it competitions between people.
Hmm. No, on a serious note, he's really fit and he's a great runner, so he'll have a great race. But yeah, I'm gonna beat him though. It's fine.
Cool.
you'll need a 10-mile advantage at that point to be able to
Uh-huh.
high five him there.
Planning on it.
Uh, that's
As
incredible.
his strategy, he told me to implement was go out fast, bank some time, and walk it in. So
Sometimes
That's awesome.
uh,
That's awesome.
key endurance strategies.
hmm
You know another
hmm
person running the race, David.
David's running. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I ran with David on Sunday. He's so fit. I think he's been pretty outward,
Yeah.
saying he wants to get a shot at the course record, and it could stick. I think it could stick. He's that fit, so it'll be fun to see what goes down this year.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be super exciting. It's going to be an exciting year. Okay, so Aeroviper Racing team member, I don't believe you have a shoe sponsor currently. So what are you planning to race in shoe-wise?
I'm obsessed with the Agravix Speed Ultra. I
Oh,
started
okay.
wearing it in April
Mm-hmm.
after Gorge. I started running in it, and I don't want to run in anything else right now. I've heard the Tecton is the
Yeah.
new one. The X3 is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm not changing anything right now. It's been working quite well. Yeah.
Sweet.
I did just hear a review on the Technon X3, and the person doing the review said they're still sticking with the Agravix Speed
Oh
Ultra.
yeah?
So,
Why?
yep.
It
Just
was
it
your
was
coach.
it was David,
Mm,
but he just not enough testing with it, and
It held
it held a
water.
little bit of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, he
So
told me
with the
that. He
sock.
told me he thought it was like holding a couple ounces of water or something.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
he also hadn't tested other shoes like using a scale and stuff, so he
Right.
wasn't totally sure how it compared. But I think the Agravix. I mean, I haven't run in a shoe that dries out so fast, so
Wow.
I don't want to know. I think they're great. I'm just going to keep telling myself that they're the best.
Yep. That sounds
Your
like a
your
good plan.
heel will never touch the ground in those shoes. You just
No,
keep going, right?
it's so rockered. But with my gait, it works fine. It didn't alter anything for me. I don't have any calf problems. So
Nice.
yeah, it's a super fun shoe for me.
Sweet. All right, now super deep question. I don't think you're
Hmm.
on Instagram. If
No, I'm not on
you're not,
Instagram.
what? Okay, tell us
Mm-mm.
about that. That's just a little bit of an anomaly for this day and age. Why not?
Man, I guess I had Instagram at one point a few years ago, and it's just a little bit overly curated. I didn't feel like it was super authentic. I'm not against it for any reason. I didn't have any like real struggles where that made me delete it, but I did delete it, and it didn't like negatively alter my life at all. And then as far as the running stuff goes, I guess I'm just not really super interested in blending athlete influencer.
Mhm.
I guess I'd rather. I guess I don't see a huge appeal for that
Yeah.
side, at least right now. So I'm not on Instagram. It was a lot of pictures of my dog doing really stupid things. Um, and then like an occasional cool scene or skiing or something, but
Yeah.
it was mostly my dog just doing dumb stuff.
Sounds like it could have been an amazing account. Most people want to see
Yeah.
dogs.
You'll just have to leave it to your imagination. I'll tell you, it was an amazing account.
But you are on Strava. So a
Oh
few
yeah.
people that I know that are not on Instagram, my brother, you,
Hmm.
Arlen Glick, Claire Gallagher, but you and Arlen are both on Strava, so that
That
kind
seems
of
like a pretty good group to me. No, I love Strava. Man, I can't say I'm like a big crown hunter or whatever, but I really like just going scrolling through and like seeing what my buddies are doing and just giving kudos. Um, I just think it's a super cool way to see what people are doing. It's also useful for like heat maps and like seeing what trail conditions are. If you can see people who have run certain segments earlier in the year, and um, I like Strava for a whole lot of reasons. It's all positive in my eyes.
nice, awesome.
I'm with you 100% there. So,
Mhm. See,
yeah,
Russ like kudos me on Strava sometimes.
That Russ knows
as much as
everyone
I
on
can.
Strava, and he will
Hmm.
identify you by the shoes you're wearing or your gait or where you're running. And it freaks me out sometimes. We'll go by somebody on a trail, and he'll be like, "Oh, that was so and so," and I'm like, "What? How do you know these things?"
Well, unfortunately, James doesn't post enough pictures of himself for me to have
Uh,
recognized him. But I was running in Grand Junction, and I was like, God, that's got to be James or Ryan or somebody. I was over on some trails in Fruta, and sure enough, I go back and check Strava. I'm like, damn, it was James. Of course it was.
mm,
That was
He's
yeah,
just a
good.
tall
James.
blonde dude, right? He's tall
Yeah,
and blonde.
James
Yeah.
is pretty tall. He's great looking. He has a little bit of an outward kick with his left foot when he runs. That's how you can tell it's James. But he's a great runner. He's really fast, and
Yeah.
but yeah, he's
He's thrown some
identifiable
good
from afar.
marathons. He's thrown some good marathons together, some good marathon
Doesn't he have a
stuff
kid or
together.
two now?
Two of
Yeah,
them.
two.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. He's a good guy.
He's a
Well,
busy dude.
we'll have to look for all of the Grand Junction and Fruita guys out at Leadville. We'll have a big crew of Castle Rock Run Club people at both Outward Bound and Twin Lakes. So I'm sure we'll come across each other there. We are wishing you the best of luck at Leadville, rooting for you very hard. Corinne, anything else that you want to get in before we close up?
Since we're talking about all the, I don't know, since we're doing multiple people, if you want to share your goals for the race, what would that be?
Ooh, putting me on the spot. I'm gonna try to win it.
Sweet. Do it.
Yeah,
Go for it.
that's
Why
that's
not?
like the ultimate goal, right?
Gotta do
I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
Shoot your shot.
yeah, yeah, yeah. First 100. I mean, there's a billion things that could happen, but I know I'm fit enough and see how the whole thing plays out. But I want to put myself in a position to compete for the win.
Love it. That's awesome. Well, best of luck. Hope the weather holds up. It doesn't get too warm here. You guys have ideal conditions. I don't think there's going to be any snow. I mean, never say never, but
You never say never in Leadville.
that's true.
It's been really hot for Leadville. I think the highest ever temperature there is like 82, and it was almost that this weekend. So I'm anticipating heat, but if it's not hot, I won't complain.
We're getting a little bit of a cool front here, you know, Castle Rock, and not that we're not that close to Leadville, but like the monsoon's coming in, and I think it's gonna be like a high of 67 here this week. So maybe that'll trickle down to Leadville and cool it off a bit.
Yeah, it'll definitely change race dynamics either way, I think.
Totally. Awesome. Well, best of luck, Ryan. Can't wait to see you crush it out there. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks. See you out there.